Hey there and welcome to our kitchen. I'm Jenny and this is Lauren and we're two of Festival's Mealtime Mentors. Today we're bringing the world to your table using one of my favorite protein foods, tofu.
That's right, Jenny, but I'm sure most of you watching this are thinking that's not my favorite protein food. It's not mine personally either, but Jenny's gonna show us some really great ways to make tofu taste a little bit more like a turkey or a chicken with both the texture and the flavor. So don't leave, stay tuned. Jenny's gonna give us some really good tips and techniques, and then we're gonna show you how to make an Asian garlic tofu recipe today.
Yes, so we are using a firm tofu, so you can find tofu in a variety of different textures from firm to extra firm, soft, and silken. I like using firm and extra firm for stir-fry type recipes because they tend to stay together a little better than the more delicate silken or soft tofu. We are going to press the water out of tofu to give it an even more firm texture, and it is something more familiar than, so it's more similar to like a chicken or a turkey. And so what we're going to do, this is an already pressed block of tofu, so the water has been taken out already, but I'll just show you how to do it. What we have here is a plate lined with some Viva paper towels, and I'm just going to cover up the tofu and take a cast iron skillet and place it on top. You don't have to use a cast iron skillet. You can use any heavy object that will apply even pressure to your tofu.
Like a book would work.
A book, yeah. A brick if you have an extra brick laying around. But what we want to do is just let it sit for about 30 minutes to draw as much of that moisture out as possible. So this has already been pressed, so you'll see that there is no more water coming out, and it's really firm in texture. So
Yeah, it has a little bit of give, but really not too much.
Not too much. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this into bite-sized pieces.
So some of you may be wondering really what tofu is. Maybe you've heard of it, but you're not really sure what it is. Tofu is made from soy.
It's made from soy
right?
milk, yes. And it's rumored that a Chinese chef actually accidentally discovered it when he mixed some nigari, which is like extracted from seawater, and it fell into his soy milk, and that's how tofu was born. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's the rumor.
Huh. So you can find tofu in our natural and organic department at Festival, and you'll find it refrigerated. And as Jenny mentioned, there are lots of different varieties. But when we're using it more in savory type cooking, we want to look for that firm or extra firm.
Yes.
So while Jenny is prepping the tofu, I'm going to get started on our marinade. So just like you would marinate chicken or turkey or another protein, we're going to marinate this tofu.
Yeah.
So we're starting with hoisin sauce, which is an Asian style sauce, which you would find in the ethnic foods aisle at Festival. Thank you. And then we're using soy sauce or tamari for gluten-free. A little bit of sugar. And then we've got some crushed red pepper, some garlic. If we can get this out of here. There it goes. And then we're using ginger. So we're using fresh ginger.
Yes, you can use fresh ginger like we did today, or we actually have already prepared ginger in squeeze bottles for you. If you want to use fresh ginger, you can find it in our produce department. It is a brown root, but you just have to peel it before you mince it. So you can peel it with a vegetable peeler or just use a spoon to scrape off that skin. It's really, really thin.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yep.
So really easy to prep, but this sauce has such great flavors.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
That ginger really gives it that fragrance.
Yeah, and that's what I love about tofu. It takes on whatever flavor you put it in. So this tofu will taste like a hoisin soy garlic ginger mix, and it's really, really good.
So do we stir this up then? We stir the tofu up just to
and
coat
stir
it all.
up. Make sure it's coated, and then we will let it sit for about 30 minutes to kind of let the flavors really get in that tofu.
Yes, so this is really going to give it some good flavor, and then our next step will be cooking the tofu, which I've had tofu a couple different times, and I've only had it raw or cold, if you will. So after tasting this and after Jenny made it, I think it tastes so much better when it's cooked. So we're excited to share that step with you shortly.
So this looks pretty good. It's been soaking for about 30 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and cook it now.
Perfect. So we've had our skillet started heating up here on medium high. We put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. So what we're going to do is just dump this, but you want to be a little bit careful. So
watch the splatter.
There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you. So we're not going to touch this tofu. It's hot. We're going to let it sear 2 minutes on each side. So after this side had seared for 2 minutes, we'd flip it.
Yep.
So that it would sear on the other side, and just keep flipping it until all the sides have been seared for about 2 minutes.
It'll get a really nice crust on it. So we actually have some that's already prepared, so I'll go ahead and grab that.
So today we're serving this Asian garlic tofu with cauliflower rice and broccoli. So this is just frozen, which you can find at several different varieties, but today we're using the charred, or I should say roasted broccoli, which is one of my favorites. So really an easy, complete meal.
Yes, and if you don't have cauliflower rice on hand, you can serve it with brown rice. That's a great whole grain. So this is truly a fully plant-based meal right here.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I'm gonna dig in and get a piece of the tofu. It has much more of a meat-like texture.
Yeah.
And so many good flavors.
It's crazy how much just marinating and pressing a tofu can do.
Absolutely delicious.
So we hope you give this delicious Asian garlic tofu a try.
And for more recipes and resources from your mealtime mentors, visit festfoods.com.